What are you passionate about? What do you love doing? Think about something you love doing. Do you do well at it? Do you give up very easily when it gets difficult? Who in this room can pat their head and rub their stomach at the same time? Give it a go. If you can, great. If you can't right now, why not? Is it really you that cannot do it? Well, once I couldn't rub my head and pat my stomach at the same time, but now I can. Today, I want to explain that if you're really passionate about achieving something, you can always find a way to achieve it, and how to overcome a few simple challenges you might face and a few simple techniques that can go a long way. From the love and passion, I grew up playing guitar every single day, and I enjoyed challenging myself to find new, unique ways of playing such a diverse instrument. I really wanted to learn the 12-string guitar. Then I wanted to challenge myself to learn on the fretboard only. Then I wanted to learn how to play on my lap. As I was growing up, I began doing gigs and busking, and I would always hold my 6-string and my 12-string guitar side by side, and I was beginning to get a common joke from people. One for each hand, or are you going to play both at the same time? So at the start of this year, I thought, why not give it a try? This is an original song I wrote called Dream. Thank you. Thanks. This felt extremely weird at first, but I just kept on persisting like I'd done in the past, and I just loved the sound of it so much, and I just kept on playing, and strangely enough, it eventually began to feel quite normal, besides when it's always banging around and hitting each other. Back in March, my grandmother filmed me playing this in my grandparents' backyard and posted on the internet. And I was extremely amazed at how much it intrigued people. And I began to get another common question: how do you do this? Well, it's a little strange to answer, but I think it is three things in combination. The first thing is obviously passion. Playing guitar is what I love doing. If you love something, you do it because it makes you feel good. This is why people are obviously commonly good at the things they love doing. I never had a massive goal to be a really good guitarist, but I just loved playing every single day, and each day I could do the things that I couldn't do before. Because of the love and passion I had for it, it gave me the power to be persistent, which persistence is my second important factor. I was never someone who was really good at something straight away or picked things up really fast. I find it hard when I see people conclude they can't do something just based on the first few attempts, when that was just the beginning. A lot of people start to become quite good at the things they do daily in their lives, just their jobs and daily routines, and everything can start to become quite automatic without much conscious thought or effort. I'm sure many of you have experienced this in some way in your lives. A prime example of this is driving a car. You get in the car and you drive from A to B, and you don't really have to remember turning the steering wheel, changing gears if you have a manual, accelerating, braking, like it's all done for you. At the moment, I am learning how to play tennis, and I'm finding it quite difficult. But because I also have a strong passion for tennis, I find myself persisting when it gets tough, and I'm finding myself slowly improve. But it is requiring a lot of persistence. As I grew up playing guitar every single day, I realized that I wasn't having to put so much thought or conscious effort into what I'm doing anymore, and I began to wonder if I'm playing the guitar or something else is doing it for me. I think the human brain is very talented in the way it loves routine and repetition, which the human brain is my third and final important factor. When someone comes up to me and says, "How do you do this?" or "You're really good at that," sometimes it's a little hard to take the credit, because it sometimes doesn't feel like I'm playing guitar, but I've more just trained my brain to do it for me. When I was young, I was constantly trying to find new ways that I could teach myself challenging things that I wanted to learn. When I was 11 years old, I discovered a powerful learning tool. I realized that when I wanted to learn a song that was quite complex, or was doing many things at once, or the fingers were just moving really fast, I realized that I could slow down the piece of music incredibly slow, and I would break it down bit by bit and realize that if I could play along with it at a really slow speed, and I got the hang of it at that really slow speed, I could then speed it up slowly to slowly challenge myself. So I will show you guys. So say this part here. When I learnt it for the first time, I learnt it and it sounded like this. That would have been really challenging at first, but when I got the hang of it, I would then speed it up a little more. And then it would be challenging again. and then once I'd learned it at that speed, I would then speed it up a little more, and repeat this process, which might take, say, a couple of weeks to a month. And then once I learned it at that full speed, I'm then quite amazed that it feels like my brain has been trained to do it for me, and it's not so much me having to put so much conscious effort into it anymore. I'm no psychology expert, but this is what has worked for me. So I hope this presentation inspires you to chase your passion, and don't be afraid to try something new and complex, not just with music, but anything in this world. And if it seems hard at first, just keep persisting, and to not underestimate the power of your brain, and try and learn how to harness the power of it and find ways to train it that work for you. I don't feel like I have a talent at playing guitar, but I know I was born with a passion and love for it. Thank you.